Today, we're going to be reimagining this poster for this film, Vampire Academy, that I believe is out in theaters this week. The first thing that we need to do in approaching this project is find a photo of yourself, and then you're going to extract it and copy it and paste it into a new layer. You're going to send me this PSD, and when you do, I'm going to upload it to Dropbox so your classmates can use it if they so choose in their own project, so that hopefully you will only have to extract one individual yourself. So anticipate having those PSDs in Dropbox pretty soon, and then once you extract yourself, you can start working on this image. We're going to be creating something that looks a little bit like this. So you'll notice that in this poster, it says they suck at school. These guys are vampires. You, however, are not. Mr. Sierra and I educate at school, and you guys are going to sort of take this and decide which language or what kind of verb you want to use. Perhaps you triumph at school, you sing, you Photoshop, you learn, you blossom, or any other relevant verb. So what are we doing after we decide which verb we're going to be using? You're going to find an image of AUP. We're going to desaturate it and include it in the background. My recommendation is using this one, although you're free to use any image that you'd like. Next, what you're going to do is think about the relationship between words to images. You're going to make sure you take note to the size, type of font, and color, because we want some color consistency. So, for example, they succeed at school is going to be font impact size 210. For example, the Academy of Urban Planning is going to be font Tahoma Bold size 100. And I didn't specify that this is going to be center aligned, but this looks much better than left aligned, obviously, or right aligned. That doesn't look right at all. You're going to want to really look at this rubric to make sure that you hit on all relevant aspects. So there's going to be this sort of white box creating contrast between the text and the background. It's going to be white. The opacity is going to be 60%. And while I do include a stroke right here, just to show the white on white, in your final image, you're not going to have any white. So let's take one more look at this. So I can see that we've got opacity 60%. The sort of slogan, the language, the logo, and February are all going to be in the same color, and that color is going to be one of your choice. I recommend a moment ago that you guys use complementary colors. You guys can go to Color Scheme Designer. We know that complementary colors are colors that are sort of opposite ends of the color spectrum or this color wheel. You can select anyone that you think looks cool, and if you want to abandon this altogether, and if you have a color scheme or combination that you think looks best, you are more than welcome to do so. Um, Finally, this says from the teacher of Photoshop and the Dean of Student Affairs. Yours, however, is not going to say that. Yours will say something along the lines of from a student of Photoshop and a teenager from Brooklyn. Although if you want to modify that, you're going to have lots of creativity to do that too, provided we sort of stay within this overall theme. One last point, the logo. How do we change the color for the logo? Let's say you wanted to do, for example, purple, which is not one of the options listed. You're going to use the magic wand. You're going to select the white, making sure that contiguous is not checked. Control Shift I, new layer, paint bucket, and then let's make sure it's on the top layer so we can see it. And then bam, and then you're going to simply drag it in. And then cannot neglect this one small aspect. So we haven't messed really around a whole lot with the types of fonts. So I can see that student is Tahoma 38, but we can change it from regular to bold, and this is really important for this particular part. So I can see that Photoshop is bold, Tahoma is regular. So you're going to copy and paste this text, and when you get right here, you're going to highlight it and change it from regular to bold, like so. So where do we apply the blending mode color layer? It's really quite simple. What you're going to need to do is on the very bottom of your layers palette, you're going to have your background image, the AUP, and then you're going to have the desaturated image of you and a buddy. Above that, you're going to have your colors. So for example, you might want to experiment with a salmon color, sort of red color, or in this case, a blue color. But just keep in mind, this is really important that once you put a blue color down and then apply the blending mode, in this case it's soft light, you're going to be unable to move yourself. So if I click right here, for example, try to move myself, instead of moving myself, I'm moving the color. So that can be a real challenge. What you're going to want to do is simply hide that color. And then if you need to go through and change or whatever, you're more than welcome to do that. I would recommend, of course, that you press Control J to make a copy above the color layer in case you ever need to go back, in case your desaturation isn't amazing. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Good luck.